Hitting fourth, number 18, right fielder, Maddie Gullion. Hitting fifth, number 22, playing third base, Hadley. Hitting seventh, number 11.
As you hear the starting lineups coming through, it is playoff softball time. The number 3 ranked Norwalk Warriors welcoming in the number 31 ranked Fort Madison Bloodhounds. Norwalk 31-7, Fort Madison 13-14. And Norwalk looking for their 4th straight trip to the state tournament, but Fort Madison looking to make it tough here tonight.
Yeah, and again, it has just been a fantastic season from these Warriors. They have come through the hardest part of their schedule with just 4 losses, and they are looking to add to that win total.
Right. We will take a short break for the national anthem, come back looking at the starting lineups for both teams, and keys the game for both squads as well. Welcome back here at Norwalk High School. The Bloodhounds of Fort Madison taking on your Norwalk Warriors in the Regional 3 semifinals. Norwalk, the Little Hawkeye Conference champions after the win over DCG on the road, getting the tiebreaker against the Mustangs. On the other side, in the Southeast Conference, it was a 4th place finish for Fort Madison. They made it here after an 8-2 win over rival Keokuk in the first round of action. Now in the semifinals, a long road trip for them and a daunting task as they look to try and upset the Norwalk Warriors here on the road.
Yeah, they have to go up against one of the best pitchers in the state of Iowa. Carly Brewer has been spectacular so far this season. 154 strikeouts, eclipsed that number against Johnston as she has pitched to a 2.51 ERA, just a 200 batting average against in those 574 at-bats that have happened against her. Has just walked 38 batters, so has plenty of options here to go to with the defense behind her and her patented fastball.
And a lot of those numbers, like some of the, the ERAs come up a lot. Some of those tough games, Ames, Milwaukee, Northwest, Johnston, some big powerhouse teams at the 5A level that Norwalk has played to close out the season, really testing their mettle before the playoffs. And now the Fort Madison Bloodhounds here. It'll be Ava Fugit to lead things off, the second baseman for the Bloodhounds. Behind her will be Jordan Marshall and Briley Lawrence to lead things off. First pitch in from Brewer is in for a strike.
As Fugue enters this game with a .318 batting average, a .426 on base, a .435 slug, so slashing very well this season. It's just up to see if she's up to the task of facing off against Carly Brewer.
Briley Lawrence, that number 3 hitter, has been the most dangerous hitter on this team, as this one is a slow roll over to Hadley Michael. Michael over to Livingston, and that is the first out of the game. Norwalk defensively, some changes coming over the last couple of weeks with Michael moving over to third base. They have slid in Hayden Clausen in at second base. Cambry Livingston getting the start at first tonight with Ava Garvey, the catcher. The outfield and shortstop still the same from left to right. It is Peters, Holbert, as this one is a quick one pitch out, just popped up right back to Brewer, who puts a squeeze on it. Holbert in center with Maddie Gullion, the future UNI Panther, patrolling right field. And at shortstop is, of course, the senior power hitter, Bailey Birmingham, one of the most aggressive and competitive players you're going to find here in 4A, as this one a little bit taken off and is in there for strike one.
Yeah, and it's just been an incredible season from all of these girls. They've just been absolutely hitting the cover off the baseball, as well as putting up some stellar defensive numbers as well.
This one popped up in on the infield. It is a potential 1-2-3 quick inning here, as Carly Brewer gets 3 quick outs to send us into the bottom of the first. It'll be Holbert, Birmingham, and Brewer when we come back. It is the 8th grader, Lucia Darnell, on the docket today in the circle for the Bloodhounds. 7-4 record on the year, and what a lineup she has to contend with. You know, on a lot of sports and different media, we talk about great duos. You talk about Batman and Robin, Rocky and Bullwinkle, groups like that, but it is a 3-headed monster at the top of this order for Norwalk, as Nia Holbert more home runs this year than Fort Madison has as a team.
Yeah, and that's just an insane statistic to look at. And I mean, you said it at the when we were looking at their lineup, 14 home runs from Lawrence. The rest of the team has just 2 to their name, 16 total. And I mean, Darnell comes into this just coming out of her 8th grade year, and has to pitch against this absolute powerhouse of a team. Obviously, Holbert, Birmingham, Brewer, but you also have Maddie Gullion, Hadley Michael, and Cambry Livingston. When she can get the bat to the ball, it goes for a ride. So a very potent lineup.
Holbert behind in the count, 1-2. Had a big game against Johnson last time we saw them on their home field. A leadoff home run, and then came back in the second inning with another bomb, just to be followed up by Carly Brewer with one as well.
Yeah, no, that was a spectacular display of power from the two of them. Holbert, first pitch of the game, just drives it all the way out there to center field. Second at bat, 2 pitches in, then she hammers one out to right field. Brewer puts one into the trees. So it's just going to be an exciting time of year for them.
Brewer gets jammed, fouls this one off. Remains a 1-2 count after back-to-back foul balls.
You can tell Niall wants this one, too.
Holbert this year with a team-leading 17 home runs. Carly Brewer right behind with 15. Holbert fouls off another one, so we will line it up and do it again for the 6th pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah, Holbert is a very good combative hitter. is able to kind of fight off pitches and does it very, very well to stay alive in at-bats.
Hulbert able to foul off another one, continuing to make Darnell work. Darnell hitting in the 9th spot today for Fort Madison. 56 strikeouts in 69 innings this year. As this one will be ripped back into center field and puts a speedy base runner over at first base for Norwalk, the leadoff single after a 7-pitch at bat.
Now at bat for the Warriors.
Yeah, and I mean, this brings up Bailey Birmingham. Must be feeling a little frustrated after, last home game was in the middle of a home run sandwich and just could not put one over the fence. So, and as we know, the best time to play Bailey Birmingham is when Bailey Birmingham is upset.
Birmingham was in a little bit of a power slump for a good portion of the second half of the season. Finally was able to hit one over the recent weeks, but also suffered her first strikeouts of the year. Went through the first 20-plus games of the season without going down on strikes a single time, but 3 of them over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, that just kind of shows she might be sacrificing a little bit of her patience trying to get some more of that slugging percentage in there. But also, given what she's been able to do this season, I'm kind of fine with that. I mean, the strikeout numbers are going to stay down, but the power numbers, the doubles, the hard hit singles are probably just going to keep going up.
This one fouled straight back by Birmingham.
And it's also a testament to the competition that they were playing down the stretch. Again, they were playing some very good teams in 5A and 4A, even 3A. And it's just been a tough back half of the season. But, I mean, Norwalk came through it very well, so happy to see them in this position.
Took on the #1 team in both 3A and 5A, along with teams like Johnson and Ames, all teams that have a great chance to make it to Fort Madison next week. Hulbert over at first, 2-1 count to the shortstop Birmingham. As this one hit into right center, coming in and making the catch is the center fielder Buckner, and that'll be the first out of the inning for Norwalk.
Now at bat for
Yeah, rough.
number 3,
Just got underneath it. She puts a solid barrel onto that ball. That is long gone.
That'll bring up Carly Brewer, 15 home runs and over 50 RBIs on the season. Leads the team in RBIs this year, as well as hitting over 500 at the plate. Already was a great pitcher and a very solid hitter last year with some good power. This year has taken it to a new level.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Brewer has just been the best player on the team. I mean, Nia Hulbert comes close, but the fact that Brewer can do it in the circle and in the batter's box just kind of puts her up over the edge. She is the face of this team. Good takeoff there from Hulbert as well.
Throw not in time. Hulbert will snag the base. Her 10th steal of the year has been yet to be thrown out. So that'll put a runner in scoring position and a 2-0 count.
And I mean, again, this team doesn't steal. We've said this before. They don't have the stealing numbers. But, I mean, Hulbert picks her moments and takes advantage of every single base she can snag.
This one comes in low. Probably going to try and avoid pitching to Brewer with an open base now. Try to go after the middle of this order with Golian on deck and Hadley Michael waiting in the hole.
And I mean, you're getting out of the power aspect of the Norwalk lineup if you get past the big 3, but then you have to deal with some of the more contact-heavy hitters.
As this one looked like it was going to have a little bit more juice on it. And that's going to be a RBI double for Carly Brewer. As slow back to her feet is the right fielder.
For the Warrior run.
And because of the play by Snott out in right field, that will allow Brewer to come over to second. Williams will come into pinch run for her. Hulbert comes in for the first run of the game.
At bat for the Warriors, number 18, Maddie Gullion.
And so far this season, Hulbert's been driven in 54 times on the season. So, well, make it 55 now, but...
Yeah, and I want to say at least 17 of those are from her own.
Yeah, and that's just insane because it just shows, she has the power, but also, she gets on base so much that it just allows her teammates to drive her in, and with that speed as well. She has an incredible kit.
This one grounded back to the pitcher. Throw over will get the out. It does advance the runner on the fielder's choice.
Now at bat for Norwalk, number 22, Hadley Michael.
Williams standing over at third now with Hadley Michael coming to the plate.
Yeah, and Hadley's also just been so good this year. Stepped into that second base spot, which apparently is her out of position spot. She's played third base her entire career, and this season has just played the team game, played at second, but now has been given that nod over at third, and has done really well, batting over 300 with 300s in each statistic. So it's, as a sophomore, has put in the work and really has shown that she is ready for this starting spot.
As this one ripped into center field, coming in and making the catch is Buckner. Good pop behind the bat, just hit into the wrong spot, and that will do it. The Warriors score one, strand a runner, 2 hits, no errors. And we will send it in to the top of the second when we come back. It was a quick 1-2-3 inning for Carly Brewer. This one is going to be one pitch, potentially one out, as Clausen gets it over, and that is exactly what it is on the 4-3 ground out. Brewer has not been nearly a strikeout heavy over the last couple of weeks, as she was at 142 strikeouts going into the game 2 weeks ago. And although she's had a couple of opportunities, did finally get across 150, and now just working quick here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lineup that hits well, just they haven't seen nearly as much speed as Brewer has, so it's just a matter of, you know, getting through the first time in the order as quickly as possible, and then second time through, maybe you change things up, you slow things down, and you try to mix them up as much as possible.
Swing through on that one. And now with an 0-2 count, we'll see if Brewer looks to turn it up a notch. Always has a lot of gas in that fastball. See if a little bit of extra Rhydonium in this one. Goes outside and gets the strikeout. First of the game for Carly Brewer.
30, Ava Taylor.
Yeah, beautiful pitch there from Brewer. That was just her 10th pitch of the game. Already through an inning and 2/3 on now 11 pitches.
Ava Taylor coming to plate, 328 hitter, the first baseman. Just 4 pitches this inning so far coming into this at bat. This one fouled off. And now Brewer can go after her again, looking for her second strikeout. Snod waiting on deck, the right fielder. Put a lot of effort into that hit by Brewer that she tried to come up with, but as the high cheese, Taylor can't lay off. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. 2 straight 1-2-3 innings to begin this game. We go into the bottom of the first. It is Garvey, Carnatz, and Livingston when we come back. Senior Ava Garvey lead things off here in the bottom of the second. An injury the beginning of the season, missed a good portion of the year, just her 11th game of the season, but has bounced back from some midseason struggles, hitting .364. Now after retaking that starting catcher job, she puts this one on the ground, and that's going to be an E3, an error over at first base by Taylor. We'll put Garvey over at first herself. We'll see if we get a courtesy runner here for the catcher, and it looks like we will. It will be number 1, Brooklyn Lanovic, the freshman.
Courtesy runner at first base.
Yeah, it seemed more like Lanovic comes in for Garvey or the catcher spot, and Williams comes in for the pitcher spot. So it just seems to be how they do business, as it's now Carnats. It was a difficult play at first. Just tried to take a stab at it. Ended up kicking the ball away from her.
Carnats lays off the pitch upstairs for ball 1. Looked like she wanted to give that one a ride. Carnats no home runs on the year, but does have some extra base power with 5 doubles on the season, hitting .300. Another one of the seniors. First year as a regular starter this year for Norwalk. They're worried about Lanovic potentially going over at first, so shortstop covering close on each pitch. And all that's going to do is open up a potential big hole on the left side. This one over to second, and back-to-back errors. Lanovic going to take off for third. Trying to avoid a defenestration and just get the easy throw into second.
Now at bat for the Warriors.
And now runners at the corners.
Livingston.
With Cambry Livingston at the plate.
Yeah, and this is where Cambry kind of thrives. She has such a big clutch gene in these moments. You get a runner in scoring position with her, and she can really just give that ball a ride, specifically to a gap in the outfield. And she's got plenty of speed to back it up as well.
Limited opportunities at the plate, but does have 12 RBIs on the season. Has really turned into a good hitter in the second half of the year after struggling with the bat before that midway point.
Yeah, she's really taken care of the strikeout numbers and really done a great job driving runners in. It's been a big part of her game. She likes batting at the bottom half of this order because of how many runners are put on in front of her.
That'll make it an 0-2 count. Should be 2 outs up on the board, but back-to-back errors by the right side of the Fort Madison infield have put the Warriors with runners on the corners, no one out.
Yeah, and they're just 2 difficult plays. The fielders are trying to take a stab at the ball instead of just scooping underneath it, and it just causes the ball to kick away.
Throw down to third. Back in time, and that'll allow Carnats to swipe second. So 2 runners in scoring position now, 1-2 count. Peters waiting on deck, a dangerous hitter at the bottom of this order. Hitting .330 on the season, is another table setter for the top of the order. Livingston able to hold back, makes it the count even at 2-2.
And it was a great decision from the catcher, Lumino, throwing down to third rather than to try to throw down to second. Definitely a double steal opportunity there, especially with the very quick Lanovic over there at third.
2-2 count, no one gone in the inning. Runners at third and second here for Livingston. Her older sister, Jada Livingston, part of last year's state tournament team as a senior. Trying to help get the team back for a 4th straight year. This senior class knows nothing in their high school days outside of the state tournament. As Livingston pops this one up, it will not be enough to score the runner. But Livingston at least forced to battle and turn into a 6-pitch at bat.
Number 21,
Yeah, it did really well there to battle off and just continue that at bat, taking pitches when she needed to. Just unfortunately got underneath that one, but sets up Peters with a further dangerous hitter, Nia Holbert, behind her.
Infield creeping in at least a little bit at third, trying to avoid a potential squeeze bunt. Peters takes this pitch outside for ball 1.
And Peters, while does have that great bunting ability, has also been very good about just the slap hits, getting them up over the infield, even if it's just barely.
Peters takes this one, able to catch the inside corner. Hulbert waiting on deck. Big RBI chance here. Warriors trying to avoid any chance of a double play. Maybe a strike him out, throw him out situation. But a 1-1 count to the left fielder. Peters a junior this year. Good backup from left field, but it's not going to be enough. And another error. This time an E5 will bring another run home.
Yeah, that's just a rough throw. Just in the dirt, swallows up the third baseman over there, Lawrence, and there's just nothing you can do after that. Great job backing up, making sure that the runner from second doesn't advance to third, but it's still a runner in scoring position with just one person out.
Second run of the game, Peters, and that one eats up the shortstop, and they're going to send Carnats home. I don't know if that's necessarily an error because that is a hard hit ball. I'll give that a single, but a misplayed ball by every player on the infield now.
Yeah, that one just took a weird bounce, just went straight up rather than down into the glove. Can't really put too much blame on her there.
So now Hulbert, bases with just one on now as Peters takes off. Good throw, but it is too far in front. And honestly, a great play at short to make sure that that one didn't short hop into center field and allow Peters to get to third. Peters, her 10th steal of the season.
Yeah, and plenty of speed down in that bottom half of the order. Peters especially, she was a courtesy runner last year and has taken advantage of that role this year.
Marshall able to back up into the left field grass and put the squeeze on it after calling off the left fielder. That'll bring up Birmingham, as that's one thing that Fort Madison has done well so far, is being able to limit the damage even with multiple base runners reaching in each of these first two innings. Only a 3-0 game, potentially, if they are able to get out of this inning here.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going straight into the teeth of this Norwalk lineup with runners in scoring position.
Birmingham takes ball one upstairs. It'll be the bottom of the order of Snod, Gathers, and Darnell for Fort Madison in the top of the third. Trying to keep this one close.
Danny Peters kind of just dancing over there at second.
That one at the knees. Strike one to the shortstop. Birmingham flew out to center field, got a good rip on the ball, but center fielder Buckner was able to slide over to a couple feet to her left and put the squeeze on it. Carly Brewer, who reached on a blooper double in the first inning, waiting on deck.
Nothing really too hittable so far this at-bat for Birmingham, being very patient, letting the ball come to the strike zone rather than extending the strike zone out.
This one will be hit right back up the middle. It's a softly hit ball, and the throw over to first will be enough to allow Peters to score from second. And that'll be an RBI infield single for Bailey Birmingham, making it 4-0.
For the Warriors, number 3, Carly Brewer.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm on the infield there, I'm kind of more looking at Peters. I'm probably not going to beat Birmingham's speed over there running down that baseline, but if I can stop the run from scoring, that's probably where I'm going to look, but I have to admire trying to get out of the inning rather than extending it and allowing Brewer to hit with 2 on.
Warriors have plated 3 runs this inning and have yet to have a ball leave the infield on a hit.
Yeah, and that's just an insane thing to say. And I mean, it's not even that they haven't been hit at the fielders. They've been hit directly to the fielders in a lot of occasions. That's rifled up the middle.
Speaking hit back at a fielder, as Brewer extends the bat and singles in to a center for her second hit. And that'll bring up Maddie Golding, who grounded out to the pitcher last time up. Williams will come to courtesy run at first.
Allie Williams. Now at bat for Norwalk, number 18, Maddie Golding.
Gullion, a very good contact hitter here. Has plenty of ability to hit it up over the infield, but dropping just in front of outfielders. It's kind of frustrating, I'd imagine.
This one fouled up and out of play. If you're just joining us, it is 4-0 here in the bottom of the second in favor of Norwalk, welcoming in the Fort Madison Bloodhounds for the Region 3 semifinals. Here on Pardon My French Media, sponsored by the Norwalk Athletic Booster Club, brought to you by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
Winner of this game will await the winner of Winterset and Oskaloosa.
As this one is going to eat up the second baseman again, and Birmingham will come in to score.
Yeah, it was a diving effort, so you have to give some credit there.
Yeah, that one you just hope to try and knock it down because that would probably prevent that runner from scoring. But again, the Warriors, just hitting the ball on the ground, have scored 4 runs here in the second inning.
Yeah, nothing has been, super deep. It's been pop-up. The chew-outs have been pop-outs, and they've been shallow on the infield or just on the outfield grass.
It really reminds me of the Indianola doubleheader where Norwalk won 11-1 in the first game and then also plated quite a few runs in the early part of the second game without an extra base hit.
Yeah, no, there were no extra base hits, and it was just a matter of playing that small ball. And, I mean, that's what Norwalk kind of loves about this lineup, and you have to love about the lineup, is that they can play, that big power ball versus that small ball very well.
And the Bloodhounds finally able to end the inning, and now Norwalk will take a 5-0 lead into the top of the third. Warriors in charge so far.
Fort Madison, top of the third, number 23.
It's the bottom of the order. Emma Snod coming to the plate, the right fielder. Following her will be Lacey Gathers, and then the pitcher, Lucia Darnell.
Just trying to get something going here, put a little bit of spark into this offense, try to get back to the top of the order where hopefully they can get it back to Lawrence with some runners on, their best hitter.
And this offense for Norwalk, they, throughout the year, have always been really good about putting the big fly out there, been one of the best home run hitting teams in the entire state. But it's been the small ball here so far. The run's just kind of percolating through, picking up a run or two here, and just continuously putting runners on base. 4 runs on the board in the second inning without any hits leaving the infield.
Yeah, and it's been what they've had to do as of recent. They've faced a lot of great pitching, and they've had to just play that smaller ball, and that's a beautiful strikeout.
That is 3 straight now on 9 pitches for Carly Brewer. Kind of an offset, immaculate inning. Did have one earlier this season. I believe that was against, I want to say Pella.
Yeah, I believe it was either against Pella or Indianola. In that first game where Norwalk dominated 11-1. And I mean, ever since you said that, Brewer's strikeout numbers have been down, it's been 3 straight.
I think she heard me and was upset about it.
Just a little bit.
That's the first ball she's thrown since the first inning.
Just insane.
As this one going down the right field line, it will fall foul. That'll even up the count at 1-1. And yeah, a lot of eyes on that Oskaloosa Winterset game. Winterset got the better of Norwalk recently in a game that went to extra innings, but it was on the road. Expect Brewer to get the start for there if the Warriors are able to hang on tonight. As this one will fall foul again. Gather's able to stay alive. Brewer will look for another quick out. Took us 12 pitches to get through the first 2 innings, working a little bit more here at a 3-pitch first out. But now back-to-back foul balls have Gatherers trying to work that pitch count a little bit more. Make that 3 straight, as that one looked like it was going to be headed right back for us if the top of the fence hadn't caught it. All the baseball, softball games, I've only had one that came near the press box. And that was at the Cedar Rapids Colonel Stadium. 4 straight foul balls now. As Gatherers leaned back, and that one just kind of went off the bat. One-two pitch, looking for another strikeout. This one runs well outside and past Garvey for ball 2.
I mean, it's been a great battle from Gatherers. As looking at the score of that Winterset game, it is 0-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Looked like Gatherers put a good swing on it, but kind of just held up there in the air and put away by the shortstop Birmingham. That'll bring up the opposing pitcher, Lucia Darnell.
Yeah. We're looking to try to go through the Fort Madison order, 3 up, 3 down through all 3 innings.
Darnell takes that one at the knees for strike 1. Darnell this year a .238 hitter. No home runs, 6 RBIs, no extra base hits on the season. Swings through the second pitch. Pitch comes up high. Makes it a 1-2 count now.
Keep an eye on the score of Winterset game throughout the night.
This one fouled back. Keeps it a 1-2 count. And we'll see if the Warriors do decide to stick with Brewer going into the 4th.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, especially if you think that you're going to be able to come away with the win here, and you're comfortable with the spot that you're in, as that's a beautiful strikeout looking.
9 up, 9 down to begin this game for Carly Brewer. 4 out of the last 5 via the strikeout. We'll take a break and come back with the heart of the order, 3, 4, 5 coming up. Senior catcher Ava Garvey leading things off for Norwalk in the bottom of the 3rd. Warriors looking to get a stranglehold on this game, already up 5-0. Thanks in no small part to 3 errors in the bottom of the 2nd by the defense here for Fort Madison. Garvey hits this one off the end of the bat, but that one will go foul. Had some good power behind it, but was just a little bit too far behind the pitch.
Yeah, and Garvey just hasn't had the opportunities with that injury to be able to showcase some of the power that we saw a little bit last year. as, you know, she came in every now and then as a DP or just showcasing her power.
As Garvey hits this one on the ground, play over to second. Throw not in time. Outside of the first inning, Warriors continue to make this infield work. As Garvey reaches, I would expect that Lonovic will come in to run again, and she will.
Number 1, Brooklyn Lonovic.
And Karnatz will come to the plate, reached on the error at second.
Number 11, Haley Karnatz.
So Garvey on base for the second time today. Lonovic came round to score last time she was on the base. Baths. Karnatz, Livingston, and Peters due up next.
Yeah, and I mean, you really never get a break with the Norwalk lineup, especially with the patience that has been showcased by Karnatz and by Peters, and even the clutch hitting of Cambry Livingston.
Reminder, they did remove the 3-inning as throw over to first and to second. A great double play turned by the Fort Madison defense, and that's got to be a big boost for Darnell.
Now at bat for the Warriors.
Yeah, that has to be so relieving there. You don't, you know, you kind of come back against those errors, and you just clear the plate. You make sure that you have the right play, and you just make sure that the right play is made.
Quick inning here as Darnell and the Fort Madison defense bounces back from a very rough second inning to essentially get a 1-2-3 here on the other side. It's the top of the order for Fort Madison, looking for their first base runner of the game. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union reminds you to practice good sportsmanship at all times, support your athlete and team positively, and enjoy the game. And it's been a great game for Norwalk so far. As a swing and miss. Starts this at bat with Fugit at the plate. Had a ground out over to third. First time up. This one runs outside.
Yeah, Fort Madison, second time through. Definitely going to try and make Brewer work a little bit harder, just under 30 pitches. This is pitch 30, and that's a beautiful snag.
Lined right back. And Brewer able to remain on balance and snag that one.
Jordan Marshall.
And Fort Madison potentially running out of time as we're getting closer and closer for one big inning to end this game. Offensively for Norwalk, they got to cause a little bit of a kerfuffle here for Brewer, this inning especially. As this one a slow roller over to third. Michael over to Livingston. One pitch, one out.
Now at bat for the Bloodhounds, number 33.
As, yeah, no, they have to get something here, and it's their best hitter, Lawrence, up now. Lawrence has to create something because on the other side, it is Peters, Holbert, and Birmingham due up.
Yeah, he was on that one.
This one fouled out of play. It'll be on the Fort Madison defense to try and extend this at least to 5 innings, as Norwalk can win it on a run rule with a big offensive inning. And yeah, those 3 coming up, that is a dangerous start to the inning. Taylor goes chasing upstairs, comes up empty. Went to the attic, came down with nothing.
Just needs to find a way to put something in play here into the outfield potentially. Just give it a bit more of a spark here for your lineup behind you.
We talk a lot during lacrosse season about the Waukee lacrosse goalie getting bored out there sometimes without a lot of action. That's been the case here for a lot of the infielders, but, for the outfielders, but this time, Taylor gives it a little bit of a ride, but Golian puts a snag on it. 4 innings of perfect baseball so far for Carly Brewer. We'll take a break and be right back. Danny Peters, an RBI single and a run scored her last time up. The dangerous top of the order waiting on deck with Nia Holbert. It was a great third inning for Darnell and this defense, and they need another one here.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you have a player like Nia Holbert up at the plate, singled her first time up. And I mean, Peters just sets that up so beautifully. It's like having a second lead-off hitter.
Peters takes that curveball in for a strike. Good off-speed pitch. 1-1 count now to the left fielder. Peters a junior this year, first-year starter. As Holbert was in left last year with Golian in center. Jalen Brandt was patrolling right last season.
As Oskaloosa is now down against Winterset 1-0 in bottom of the third. 2 outs. Runners in scoring position at second and third.
Good bounce back pitch there for Darnell to pick up strike number 2 against Danny Peters. Peters and Holbert, the 2 fastest players in this lineup, combined for 20 steals this season. Ground ball here over to second base, and that is going to be the second error at second here today.
Yeah, it's just been a rough night out there from Ava Feud.
For Norwalk, number 15, Nia Holbert.
And now things get even more difficult with a runner on and Nia Holbert at the plate.
It is not going to be pretty here.
Holbert took that one, and I'm surprised she laid off on a pitch that close to the plate.
Yeah, that one could have very well been deposited into the baseball fields over there in right field.
Peters did not take off on the first pitch as Holbert gets underneath this one. And a good snag moving back is the shortstop Marshall to put up the first out.
Warriors, number 14, Bailey Birmingham.
And that'll bring up Birmingham. Flew out to center her first time and then singled on the infield her last time up.
Yeah, and Birmingham just needs to keep that train going, needs to keep getting hits, moving the runners over for Brewer, Gully, and Hadley. All these players that have been hitting so well, including herself, shows bunt.
A new pitcher in the game, we were just informed as well. Emma Snod, the right fielder, moves in to pitch 4-5 on the season with a 6.12 ERA. Very surprising move there after Darnell, a great third inning, and has not been pitching poorly. She has not been backed up by her defense.
Yeah, it's really just been a defensive issue rather than that. And I mean, Snod did have a difficult play out there and right against Brewer, but
so now a 3-0 count to Brewer. And I would believe that almost every single run in that second inning went unearned. That one in there for a strike.
good job laying off of that one. It's the natural thing to do, but it's not always the easiest. As Oskaloosa escapes the third with just allowing one run.
And it'll be a 5-pitch walk here for Snod. Puts Birmingham at first for the second time today, and Carly Brewer at the plate.
Yeah, and this is a dangerous spot to have Carly Brewer up in.
2 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Nothing exceptionally hard hit so far, but that can change on one swing of the bat.
Yeah, especially when it comes to top three, any single pitch can be deposited back behind the fence.
Pitch in the dirt. Warriors were thinking about pulling off a double steal there as Birmingham was halfway down to second base.
Yeah, I don't think Peters caught onto the message quite as quickly as Bailey did. Birmingham was gunning for second.
This one lifted into center field. Will not be enough to advance Peters.
Now at bat for Norwalk.
And that'll bring up Maddie Gullion.
Maddie Gullion.
Singled her last time up, picked up an RBI in the process. Bloodhounds trying to get out of the inning and send this to the top of the fifth. Still only down 5-0. Good stop by the catcher. Lamina, who will lead things off in the top of the fifth if we do advance there.
I mean, that almost that entire fourth inning happened on a 2-out rally. At least the run scoring did. So it's just a matter of when they can get something across the plate, especially with the speed that is available to them.
And we will have a pinch hitter as Addie Fisher standing on deck. Has started at third majority of the season. It's been Hadley Michael at the hot corner the recent weeks. See if Fisher gets a chance to hit here in the bottom of the fourth. Only one more home game left for this senior class if they are able to capture the win here tonight. Gullion fouls off that pitch for the first strike of the at-bat. 2-1 count to the right fielder with 2 gone in the inning. This one lifted high into center field. Buckner able to put the squeeze on it, though, and that will do it. The Warriors strand 2 runners. And back-to-back shutout innings thrown by Fort Madison. We'll be back with the top of the fifth right after this. Top of the 5th inning, it is Leah Crick coming into the game, and Carly Brewer done for the day. 4 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, and then a quick 1, 2, 3, 12 up, 12 down. And you understand the move, but you're a little ambivalent about it when she's got a perfect game going through just 4 innings. But Leah Crick looking to come in and help shut the door here today.
Yeah, it's just through 35 pitches. Brewer got through 4 innings of work.
This one grounded over. Michael up throwing. Fisher did not come to the plate in the bottom of the 4th, so Michael does come back out to play 3rd. We'll see what the decision is in the bottom of the inning.
Yeah, and that's just a beautiful throw over. Great job on the fielding. Got the glove underneath it, scoops it up, tosses it over to first, and Cambry Livingston solid as ever.
This one goes foul. Michael was right there on the bunt attempt. And man, like, I know that you're playing for the playoffs, but that just feels like an unwritten rule. You don't break up a perfect game or no-hitter with a bunt attempt. But at this point of the season, I kind of get it.
Yeah. It is an unwritten rule, but also it's not one that many people choose to follow all that often.
Mm-hmm. 0-2 count now for Buckner. Struck out swinging her first time up. This one, a soft foul ball, goes off of the fence.
I don't know why, but for some reason the game of Carlos Rodon going for a perfect game, and then he hits a batter, and the batter had every opportunity to move out of the way and just wore it, and then broke up a perfect game. It just kind of came into the mind there as he mentioned that.
A good pitch there, but can't get the strikeout call. Makes it a 1-2 count. Carlos Rodon named to the All-Star team in place of Max Fried, his teammate.
Yeah, and then he, on that same day, put up an 8-inning no-run performance against the Cubs.
I'm okay with it.
I'm not.
1-3 ground out here for Buckner, and that brings up Taylor. As we will head into the bottom of the 5th if she is unable to reach.
Ava Taylor.
For the Warriors, Michael Garvey and Carnat. Due up next for them in the bottom of the inning. This pitch comes inside. Crick has had a great season as the number 2 pitcher for Norwalk this year. 3.42 ERA, another one that is kind of elevated due to some of those big games recently against Waukee Northwest. But for a lot of the year has had a sub-3 ERA, 10-1 overall on the season, 34 strikeouts in 61 innings.
Yeah, has been just absolutely electric at in that 2 spot. Has just provided a lot of great pitching for doubleheaders, and even against some of the best teams in the state of Iowa, it's just been an incredible sight to see.
This one a rip foul for the 2nd strike. Expect to potentially see her and maybe Lillian Garvey at the top of the rotation next season.
Yeah, it'll be a new look, but certainly not a unwelcome one, seeing how she can develop between seasons.
This one a soft foul ball, straight back.
Heard she works with the same pitching coach as Sophia Schlater, so those two know each other quite well, and it's a great friendship to have when you have the best player in the state of Iowa, number 2 ranked player in her class in the nation, as someone you can pitch with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you look around the infield right now and even into the outfield, you expect that with Danny Peters, might even shift over to center field next year with that speed, potential leadoff hitter next year for the Warriors. As Crick comes in, punches out Taylor, and that's another 1-2-3 inning. We'll take a short break, be back with the bottom of the 5th inning stretch here at Norwalk.
And on the mound for the Bloodhounds, number 23, Emma Snod.
Snod returns here for the bottom of the 5th. It is Addie Fisher pinch hitting. Fisher takes a called first strike.
And that'll come in behind her and hit her.
So that'll put a runner over at first base for the Warriors.
For the Warriors, number 23, Ava Garvey.
And courtesy runner. It's like it's.
This one eats up the shortstop. Alyssa down, the pinch runner, or courtesy runner at first, advances to second on an infield single.
Base, number 6, Alyssa down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another one that eats up the shortstop over there. It's been a rough night for Jordan Marshall at that captain spot.
As Lanovic will come to a courtesy run for Garvey again, who reaches base for the 3rd time here today. 2nd time on an infield hit,
Yeah,
as well as on the error.
Incredible night.
Carnatz shows bunt, fouls one off. Cambry Livingston waiting on deck. If I remember correctly, I believe it is 8 runs after 5.
Yes.
So the Warriors need 3 here to mercy rule and head to another regional final opportunity.
Technically one swing of the bat away.
Carnatz fouls another one off. Trying to get those runners into scoring position for Livingston. See if she can potentially bring someone home in the process as well. It was a hit by pitch for Fisher. And then Garvey with an infield single. Carnatz takes a ball. Carnatz lifts this one into right field. Will not be enough to advance down at second. So that'll be the first out of the inning. And it'll bring Livingston to the plate, who's 0 for 2.
Now at bat for the Warriors, number 2, Cambry Livingston.
Danny Peters waiting on deck, who's also reached base twice. Good pitch in there. Snod gets ahead of Livingston.
Oskaloosa putting up a good fight here. Managed to get to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0.
This one poked out into right center. And that is going to be an RBI double for Cambry Livingston.
And it's when she gets runners in scoring position is when she thrives.
First extra base hit of the year for the sophomore, and comes in a big moment. Scores down from second and advances Livingston over to third, while she takes second with Danny Peters followed by the top of the order. A single here could win the game for Norwalk and walk off with the mercy rule win. But how are we feeling about a potential walk for Peters and a walk-off grand slam?
You know, I'm okay with that. I'd be absolutely fine with seeing a walk-off grand slam here from Niall Holbert.
If we have to, I guess.
Twist my arm.
I could be convinced. Peters, 2 runners on, 1-1 count, just 1 out in the inning. Pitch comes inside. Good speed on the base paths with Lanovic at third. and Livingston at second. Number 1 at third, number 2 at second. Makes it 3-1 now. Danny Peters, a left fielder. An RBI single back in the second. Swings through that pitch. Was looking to try and end it on that one.
Yeah, good pitch there. Good swing as well, just couldn't quite get the barrel to it.
Snod trying to get through this inning and send it to the 6th. This one, singled into left field. They're going to hold the runner at third. A second RBI single.
For the Warrior run.
And the Warriors just moving them around via singles, as well as the Livingston double.
Warriors, number 15, Nia Hulbert.
Lonovic scores, and the game-winning run now at third base. Conversation at the mound. See what they decide to do here with Hulbert, if they intentionally walk her to try and load the bases to make a play at the plate. But again, the last thing you want to do is make Birmingham feel offended.
Yeah, no, I think if you do walk Hulbert, it will be a walk-off grand slam because Birmingham will not take that.
Game-winning run is over at third base. 1 out. Hulbert can end it with a fly ball to the outfield.
Winterset plates 2 in the 4th. We go to the 5th inning, 3-0. Huskies over the Oskaloosa Indians.
Warriors looking for a rematch with Winterset potentially, as this one hit on the ground. They get the out at first, but that will do it. The RBI ground out for Hulbert, and the Warriors win it. It is a perfect game for Norwalk defensively. 4 innings from Carly Brewer, and shutting the door was Leah Crick in the 5th. Norwalk advances to the regional finals Tuesday night, awaiting the winner of Oskaloosa and Winterset. 1 win away from their 4th straight trip to the state tournament, and they will get to host once again, looking to right the wrong against Winterset from last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's again just a showcase of some great small ball here from Norwalk. They knew what they needed to do. They got the job done, and they're heading to another regional final where they can potentially take some revenge.
5 total errors for Fort Madison as they were unable to withstand the Norwalk offense. And again, a perfect game for Norwalk in the circle here today. 4 strikeouts in 4 innings of work for Carly Brewer, and 1 as well for Leah Crick in that 5th. As Carly Brewer got to be player of the game, 4 innings of perfect action, RBI single, as well as RBI double, as well as a single in her second plate appearance. 2 for 3 on the day. Overall, just a great around game for Norwalk, and they send Fort Madison home on a long road trip with a Mercy Rule win.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good season from Fort Madison. They do end with a losing record, but put up some very good wins and losses here and there. So congratulations to them on a good season, something to build off of. They have a young pitcher that has been pretty good for them, managed to get things together in that 3rd. So hopefully her career is just blossoming, and for the rest of them, they have so much to be excited for and a lot to improve upon.
Yeah, Darnell went the first 3 innings, allowed just 2 earned runs, as there were 4 errors in that bottom of the second. Really was a telling sign from the Fort Madison defense, as the Bloodhounds could not keep the ball in front of them. But overall, Norwalk happy to be headed back. 13-15 for Madison finishes the year. Darnell picks up the loss, finishes 7-5 on the season. But like you said, a very promising young career. Just an 8th grader here. On the other side, Carly Brewer picks up win number 20 on the season. Warriors move to 32-7 on the year. Brewer finishes with 4 strikeouts in 4 innings of work, and we'll see that ERA go down below 2.5 again after a couple rough outings over the last couple of weeks. But we will be back Tuesday night with the Region 3 final here at Norwalk High School. Until then, for my broadcast partner, Liam Weber, and our producer, Gary French, I'm Tyler French, signing off from Norwalk High School. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.